Can you tell me, are they from Bakote or are they from within the KMC?
It's all over KMC. Some came as far as from Fajikunda, and some are from Bakote. So it's all over Kololi and all the part of Bakote. All part of Bakote.
What's the enrollment?
KMC.
What is the number of the enrolled students?
We have about 60. They will be here for 3 years. Yeah, depending, because some people, you know, the learning levels, our way we assimilate things, the level doesn't equal. So some 3 years will be enough for them. But others, if we feel that there is a need to keep them, to give them an extra skill, so they will go beyond.
Some of them sustain to help the center?
Of course, yes. There are people that are actually still with us. That's why we have a student who is still with us trying to support, like Adama Jata is still with us. Mariama Singhati, who is currently the production manager. She's trained here, nowhere else. She's trained here. In fact, if you looked at her, these are the type of people that we are proud of, because initially she has never been to school. She has never been to school. She started going to school just here, but you can see what she can do. It's really amusing. Actually, if you also observe, there are so many young girls who have been to other skill centers, but they didn't take them because they feel they cannot read and write. And here we believe that that's not the case. If you cannot read and write, but still you may have a potential to do something with your hand, to do something with your legs. So this is why you see how they are doing. And you've seen the 2 of our students who we are using sign language to, you know, communicate with them, and they can do some things on their own right now. We have another group formed. That group, what they do is they do see how best to support the center, and the center would also be supporting them. And what they do is they come into the center to produce some materials which goes into the market. So after, again, they will buy some product. Also, the students will be used to learn during that process. So we encourage all of them to join that group. At the end, they are not doing it. The group is not doing it for profit's sake. They are doing it for the sake of the community center, how to sustain it. You understand? Because right now we didn't have any main funder as of now. We will say we are supporting all aspects. No. When it comes to materials for training, it's the management team of the community center who has to sit down to see what we can do. And through still, I have to say thank you to community development for the fact that if they were people, the other people, they might say, okay, it's a project and it's phased out, so we have nothing to do with the community. But no, they are still supporting. They are giving us technical advices. You know, sometimes they have to tell us, look, you can knock at this place. Maybe you might have something to sustain the activities of the center. So we have to thank them. And initially, those who came with the project, I have to thank them, like Maria, Anna, and again, the community side, the Alicalo and councillor of the Bakote ward, and the head of the company, Anna, okay, with the support of Yamusu and all other people who were in. We have to thank them, because if they didn't start this project, today we will not talk of this. But they've done something which, you know, needs to be commended. Well, nobody can talk of John. Been very patient to make sure that he injected the skills that the students need into them. So we're actually proud of it. As of now, what we can do is to appeal to the institutions and donor agencies to look at us, because these students are not paying school fees. They are students either were deprived to get access to other schools. We said, no, you cannot roam the street like that. You have to come in. So we opened our gate for them. They came in, and they are either also students who they don't even have money to pay for any school. At the end, we have to welcome them here, that, look, you can be something else. So come in. We accept them on those grounds. And if you observe again, most of us here, we are just volunteering to support, to make sure that these young people, we see them to be some good leaders tomorrow.
Can you tell us basically what you do here in the skill center?
Yeah, this is a Bakote Multipurpose Skill Center, and this a project that is initiated by CCIP and collaboration with community development and other stakeholders like SDF. So, the main thing was to sort of transform this center into cottage industry. And that's why we have these youth who are also here to build up or to reinforce the labor force, because we need a lot of people to be able to transform this thing into the cottage industry. And that is why we have the youth who are here to be trained, so that when they are trained, they will make use of the place. And that is the starting of everything. Yeah. We do about 2 or 3 skills areas here. We do tie and dye and batik. That is the improved techniques in tie and dye and batik. And then we also do improved technique in weaving, and then macrame and screen printing. So those are the skills areas that we are doing.
And coming into your weaving room, we learned that 2 of your students are physically disabled. How do you communicate with them?
Well, that is a big challenge. We try to cope. In fact, they are very intelligent guys. Some you could see here. We do try to blend how to use the signs by to train them, and that's what we are doing. Anything you do, we also try to at least to cope with the situation. There's nothing you can do, but you should also try to help them, since they are willing to learn. You can't throw them out, but you have to find ways and means to train them, and that's what we are doing. And they are doing very well. They're doing very well, yes. As compared to the others, they are also doing very well. And we hope with this type of training, if it can continue for some time, they'll be able to be self-employed, because this is something that you can do it your own. If you live here, you can establish your own small business and then continue with the skills. So it's something that will really help them in the future.
What challenges do you face in this skill center?
Yeah, we have a lot of challenges. We're looking at the whole thing. You see that community development in collaboration with SDF and other NGOs are trying to assist, but you could see that the fund that they are putting into the whole thing is a bit minute for us to sustain, because most of them actually, none of them is paying school fees. It's free. So you need just to show the interest that you are a Gambia, and when you come, you have to be serious. We just take you on board and we train you. So there's nothing actually that the school is benefiting. But that's what we are appealing to the other stakeholders, or maybe the NGOs, to come into our aid, to assist us to be able to train these youthful ones. Because textile is very expensive, and when it comes to raw material, everything we have to buy. So if we can have the funding from other people who just give it, even they can supply or they can give us on that basis, we'll be able to use that materials to train them very well. Because our main problem now is the training materials to be able to, to continue with the program. And I think if we have it, training here will not be, because we have people who are also be here for 2, 3 years, 4, 5 years. I've trained them, and they are also now becoming resource persons. I'm using them to train the others. So I think this should continue, and if we continue, it will spread across the country, and many people will benefit from it. Yeah.
Lastly, what word of advice do you have to give to the youths who are out there, dropped out of school and are not engaged in anything?
Yeah, most of the youth think if you cannot continue with your education, that's the end of your life. But I want to assure them that there are people here who did not even make it. Though some, they don't even go to school at all, but they are here, and today they are making ends meet from the skills that they acquire from here. So I want to encourage them to come and then join their colleagues here, for them to learn something for themselves.